Viewers, good evening, members of Nangoma Foundation. We welcome you to our Friday meeting today. The question that we are going with, or the discussion that we are going to have, is something that is affecting each and every Zambian, each and every citizen, and each and every person who is also concerned in the way the affairs of the government are being run by the current government. So the question which we are going to go with today is, why do the PF still running the affairs of the government, even if after changing from PF to UPND? That is the question. So the floor is open to everybody, and we are free to participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Welcome, guys. Welcome. I have my panel here. I have Eric and Musa. And the topic of the day today is, why is PF still running government? We are going on 2 months exactly, and we have not seen the changes we expected. Personally, I feel betrayed. I'm disappointed, but I still have some hope. So, guys, let's share in our groups. This is a People's TV. We are going to be coming on more. We need youth to speak up. You know, we are in a democracy. We have a freedom of speech. So let's just share in our groups and let's join in and chat, developing stories. What is happening? You know, tell us in the comments below where you're watching us from, and where, you know, the discussion that you want to talk about, any topic. It's an open floor. We'll be here for 1 hour. And Eric, you can introduce yourself, and then Musa, you can introduce yourself.
My name is Eric Anton Chaponda. I'm a member for Nangoma Foundation. Those are my simple, the simple introduction that I can give for now.
And you are a youth.
I'm a youth.
Most important to say, yes.
I'm a youth aged 26.
Good job. Yes. Very young, and you know the future is bright.
Thank you.
Musa, welcome.
Thank you so much. My name is Musa Opepiri. I'm a member of Nangoma Foundation. Yeah, I think that's an intro for now. That's an intro for now.
Yes. So we are here, guys. Just share in the groups. Join in. We are here. We are talking about, why is PF still in government? Why? That's $1 million question, guys. Why? So comments below, guys. Tell us where you're watching us from. Share in your groups. You know, we have seen, like, in the councils, there is a drama because all the positions in the council, they are being run by PF cadres. So it's a problem. It's a big mess, you know. It is a big problem. We expected all these PF cadres to be removed, but they are still in government. So what is your comment, guys? Comments below. What is your comment? So I'm still sharing in my groups, guys. I'm sharing. You can share as well. I know it's Friday. A lot of things are going on today. So people can watch what is going on. Can watch our discussion later. I know it's Friday. A lot of things. Sorry. Let me mute my phone. It's Friday. I see you, Vincent in Lusaka, Ragi, Charlie. I see you guys. Let's share in our groups. Yeah, let's invite people to discuss. You know, a lot of people, they were interested before elections. We had a lot of participation. I think a lot of people are disappointed. You know, they are quiet, but let's not be disappointed. Let's keep discussing. let's keep sharing. Let's keep talking about what is going on. Let's hold our leaders accountable, you know. Winning an election is one thing. So to win an election is one thing. And the job actually begins when you win the election, to hold the leaders accountable. And, you know, I was talking to someone yesterday, and they mentioned that the problem is in Africa, or in even Zambia, for example, we turn out in numbers to remove the PF. And then now we have relaxed after we have removed them. No. Now, after we remove PF, the next step is to hold the current government accountable. That is the next step. We have to hold the current government accountable. They gave us campaign promises. They promised us immediately we go in government, we are going to look at the owner of 48 houses. Is anyone talking about who the owner of 48 houses is? No. So we have to step up, Bayuthi, step up and hold these leaders accountable. You put them in office, polling station, for a reason, is you wanted to see the change. So 2 months down the lane, we are not hearing anything about arresting the people who bought the fire tenders, the people who bought the expired medications, you know. We are not hearing anything about removing the corrupt judiciary who approved ECL's third term to run in a government, you know, they approved the ECL to run for the third term. That is treason. Nobody's talking about it. So what we are saying is we need to hold our leaders accountable. They gave us campaign promises, and this is the time now. By youth, who can stop sleeping. We don't have time for 5 years to come and pass and go. You know, we are hearing all these scandals of there was something. And before I proceed, I can just say that I just want to say that everything I'm sharing is found on social media. I am not making anything up. So there's nothing like we are going to sue you, whatever. If you want to sue me, sue those people who are posting those fake stories. Patulela and Dafie, we are talking about things that are going on social media, which are wrong and are not supposed to be happening in a new dawn government. They are not. But we see things like, you know, Anthony Wadia is hiring and firing people. Did people elect Anthony Wadia? Do some people in the villages who even went to vote for Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, our president, do they know Anthony Wadia for him to start hiring and firing people in the diplomatic missions? You know, things are going wrong and things will not be fixed if we are quiet. So we are here, guys. In campaign and contributing and talking, it should continue. Because if you shut down and become quiet, these things shoddy deals will be happening. Before you know it, another 5 years will pass and you'll be here. So we have to fix things. We have to, and the controller, we are saying we're going to control things. We said Bali will fix it. Bali will fix it. That's the slogan. We are 2 months down the line. We have to see Bali fixing it. If Bali is surrounded by people who are not helping him fix it, then we as voters, as youths, you as youths must campaign. Not must campaign. Actually, we have already done our campaign. You must tell Bali to remove the people who are working against his mission. We voted for Bali. You know, some of these ministers, they are not even known. But the whole country stood up and voted for Bali because Bali will fix it. So if these people, they are becoming a problem to help Bali fixing it, then we must ask Bali to remove these people. What is your comment, Musa? Yeah, guys, we are here. Share in the groups. Yeah.
The comment is during campaign and during the time we were campaigning for UPND, our hopes were high that things will change, because the promises that our president really had on us was so much impressive, and thinking that in just in 1 month things will change. But we are still just down the line, because there are some still members from PF that are still running up some particular parts of the government, and that's why things are still the same. Let me also talk about, I saw a video of one member of UPND who was also complaining, saying that in ZESCO there are still officials from ZESCO who were still from PF that are still in ZESCO. And this also brings effect to the development of this country, because if we still having those members from PF into this new government, you find that they won't be working to impress us, but also to make us discover that UPND is not working. If you look at previously, PF started very well, and people that destroyed PF, they are members that came from MMD. So if the government has come into power as a new government, it has to have new members. If you bring recycle members into your party, they will come and destroy it like the way they did to the previous one. So for me, this of involving PF members into UPND, it will be just the same decline like the way PF declined. So if our president is watching or listening, he has to think about this. Let him has points to know that this member that I'm putting on, I fought with them. We fought together to get this office. So I should not include members that were in the previous government which declined. They also make this government decay. It will also collapse like the way it did in the previous government. So these are the things that our officials in the party should also take responsible of, take full control of, because if this continues, this party won't last for 10 years.
Thank you very much, Mr. Musa. I really appreciate for that wonderful contribution. Madam Pumi, ma'am, I think I have to do something that I've never done before on the platform. I am watching live using Facebook right now, and I've noticed a lot of people they are watching right now. So I want to take this opportunity of all the viewers who are viewing and listening right now to encourage them. I can see the number of viewers there, 58. The number goes up, sometimes it comes down, but I encourage each and every person who is listening to this conversation right now. We as Nangoma Foundation, we are here for all of you. I know you can't have an opportunity for you to talk right now, right here on this platform, but it's very important that you have to know, by you listening to this information right here and right this very moment, adds up to your life to say you are also counting as one of the people who are very important, because this conversation that we are having here, when we take it upon ourselves, it is something that can change your life personally and also the life of your relatives where you come from. Not only your relatives, but also the people that you come or live together in those communities where you come from. Because out of these people, out of us, imaged the people who voted for UPND. And when they voted for UPND, the way they were campaigning, even if they were campaigning under very difficult circumstances and conditions, because people loved to change the system of the government. That's the reason why we had to turn up into numbers for us to go and vote out there. So this information that we are having here, it is because we want the best out of our country, Zambia. It is because we are always wanting the best which can come out, so that we see changes, not seeing each and every time the same things which have been happening in the past, and then we continue living like that. Remember, the world has recognized the youth of Zambia because we have been noted to be the bravest youth, the whole world. We are an example of the people. So if we just get that name and put it on our back to say, okay, the world knows that in the world that there is a country called Zambia, it means there's nothing that we are doing. So I encourage each and every person who is viewing, my brothers and sisters out there, even elders, I'm encouraging you to say, find a way how you're supposed to reach Nangoma. We are supposed to be a lot of people in Nangoma, such that our voices are supposed to be heard. And you also, who is listening on this conversation, this live broadcast, it could be on YouTube, it could be on Facebook, it could be any platform that you are using in order for you to communicate to us right now. Take it upon your responsibility, take it upon yourself to say you are supposed to do something. Make change out of your life. It starts with you before it ends with somebody else. When you put confidence and also something that drives you, the motivation, it means we can travel so many miles. Not any person can move alone. We need to intertwine. We need to come together as a country. HH never won to be president because of himself. It's because of the people who had to believe in him. But he is betraying the people who have believed in him. Look at the promises that he used to promise us youths. Employment. How many people, or maybe how many youths who have been employed? If we put this sentence, just, or maybe this question just alone, how many youths do you know who have been employed for the last 2 months that this government has been into power? You'll find out that there is no any other person who has been employed as a youth. Now, where are we going? And what is it that we want as people in this country, as young people? Because old people, their age or maybe their years are deteriorating each and every time. They don't have strength. And we are the ones who are supposed to be future leaders, if not us to be leaders right now. Because I believe a person can be a leader through the way we portray ourselves to the public. So once again, I'm reaching out to you right now, right this very moment, to say, let us turn up into numbers. We need to follow up. Let us find where Nangoma is. Let us find the contacts of the people who are right in order for this organization to grow. When we grow, we are going to voice out into different abilities, different characteristics, and different platforms, such that Zambia should be heard, more especially coming from Nangoma. I'm seeing the numbers of people who are viewing on Facebook. It has gone to up to 80 viewers. That's really encouraging. Honestly speaking, it's really encouraging, and I really feel good because a lot of people out there, next time we are going to be 300. It means we are growing. But don't just watch on Facebook. We are supposed to come to Nangoma such that you are supposed to be part and parcel, because we need people who can talk. We need people who can push this thing and push this project further, because that's what we want. That's what we want for Zambia. In order for people who are in the typical rural areas, for them also to receive this information, for them to discover about their rights and responsibilities for our country. So the question is still on. Why is the PF government still controlling the affairs of the government? And yet, after changing the ruling party, we are into UPND, but the people who are out there, who are taking charge, they're even boasting right now to say, you think UPND is the one which is ruling, but PF is still in power. So why do the PF still controlling? And what are we supposed to do as the citizens of Zambia, inclusive Nangoma Foundation? What is it that is our responsibility now in order for these things just to be eliminated? Thank you very much. The floor is open.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Guys, if you're just joining us, we are here. Queen Pumi here. I'm the CEO and founder of Nangoma Foundation Zambia. We are a human rights organization. And the question at hand today, this evening, is after almost 2 years of winning the Zambian election with a landslide victory, we are still seeing PF in government. Me, this is a heartburn. It is a heartburn because it's a betrayal, it's a breaking the campaign promises of giving youths jobs. Youths were the majority of voters in this election. So even the government should be reflected with the majority of people in the government as youths. You know, I was talking to a youth yesterday who told me that he applied for a job and he was told that he needs 8 years experience. I'm like, is this a joke? In the new dawn, they are demanding 8 years experience from a youth. We have had 10 years of PF rule, and some people graduated 10 years ago because they are Tonga, because they don't know anyone, they couldn't get a job. So where are they going to get the 8 years experience from? That's why we are here. Campaign promises were made to say you are going to get jobs. So how is a youth going to get a job if you want 8 years experience from them? This is annoying to me. Everything must be changed. Job application should stay. For me, I can say that a job application should say that a recent graduate who has not worked in the last 10 years. That means that you are giving priority to the youth. If you say someone needs 8 years experience, you are throwing the youth again outside. You have used the youth as a ladder to get where you were. And now that you have gotten where you were, it's like a slap in the face to the youth. So we are just here, guys. I know the viewership has dropped because people, they are confident, oh, there is a new government, let's give him time. No, we are not giving time. We are not giving time. We have been waiting 10 years. Some people have been waiting so many years, you know, to get their justice, to get their job. So what are we waiting for? Juba, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. On this topic that you have said concerning the why we still have PF in the government, the reason is very simple. Our government, our current government, it seems it was not ready to govern this country. It just came as a surprise. They were amazed that they have been elected as the government of the day. Now, this time around, they are just struggling now to find who can be in that position. They don't know whom to put it there. I think this was supposed to be planned before they were elected in the government, because being firing without hiring doesn't make sense. They're just firing and they're not hiring. It was supposed to be a reciprocation. They hire, they fire. That's the way it's supposed to be. Now, this time around, they are just quiet. It seems as they were not ready. So I cannot blame them. What I need to blame myself for giving them the opportunity, because what they are showing now, they were not ready. Though there is still time for them to pull up their socks. What we want is them to be fast, because this time around, we don't need these people that we voted them out in the positions. These are the same people that are making that UPND, they are not visible, they are not working. So we need our president to put up his socks to make sure that these people are not there. More especially the jobs of CEOs, parastatals, directors, and all permanent secretaries. We need them to be out of the government, because these are the people who were just given opportunity by PF, because PF constitution usually just states that only that person who is aligned to the party is the one who is supposed to get that position. Now, why should we keep those people on those positions? Because they were aligned to PF for them to get that position. I can even see the way SEC, DEC, and the FIC, they are working. They're not working according to the way they are supposed to work. Do they want our president to push them to work? The answer is no, because they need to be independent. Now, with the pace that they are going on, it's worrying me. They're not fighting corruption. They're just there to have themselves rich. Whilst us, we are crying for that. And we voted PF out just because of corruption. And our president, HH, promised us to say that when he comes to government, when he forms government, he will bring all the culprits, those people who are stealing. you bring them to book so that those people can be answerable for what they got. And now this time around, I don't know if these things will be actualized. I don't know, because I'm in dilemma. I don't know which direction should I go. Because these people were promised to say that they will bring these thieves into what? Into our prisons so that they can work for the government, or they can bring those assets that they got. Look at this issue for KCM that liquidated Miringorungu. He was brought before the court and the prosecutors were not there. So which kind of administration is this, whereby these people, they are being brought to court and the prosecutors are not there? What was happening? I think the president needs to have a keen interest on this issue, because it's not being serious. They're not being serious, these people. I think they need to be asked questions. They need to be answering for this one, because I was very surprised. How can they bring the person that is being is being suspected that he stolen the money, and now the prosecutors were not there? Does it make sense? Doesn't make sense. So these people, they need to be serious before we go there and ask them. And I need also the media to go there. Those so-called media, they need to go there and ask why those prosecutors were not there. They need to be answerable for this. We need to know what happened, because we will not have these people arrested if at all they are not serious. Even those cases that they said that they have 90, according to the DEC report, we will not manage them, because the pace that they are running, I don't know if it's a good pace. They need to be fast. They need to make sure that they have all evidence, so that these people, they can bring our properties. We know that they have. So the way they used to promise us during campaign, this is the same way they should act on these issues, because they are on what? On top of things. So why should they fail now to bring them once they were able to see when they were out of the government? Now when they're inside the government, now they are failing to see them. Now they should be serious. This is what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Juva. So guys, if you're just joining us, we are here. We are talking about the breaking news, things that are happening in our country, because we had campaign promises that they are going to bring the thieves to book. We are not seeing it. We are not seeing the thieves being brought to book. You know, we see a slow pace of the judiciary system. We saw some prosecutors not show up to a court case. And we are here as Zambian citizens. We are concerned, because before election, we were up here. We were in gear to say, with these thieves, we are going to catch them. We are going to prosecute them. But it's like now PF, they are using the stolen money to bankroll UPND and paralyze our systems. You know, our systems are being paralyzed. PF are using this is my opinion, PF are using this same money they store to bankroll people, prosecutors, you know. Nothing is happening. Why? So we are saying, we as Zambians, we are not going to wait for 5 years to vote for the UPND out. No, we are going to fix things. We said Bali will fix things. So we are here to ask questions and we will talk. We have to hold our leaders accountable, you know. So we are here, guys. It's a panel. Join the movement. Things are going wrong, not we are quiet. No, we are not going to let it happen. If they think we are going to be quiet while they break their campaign promises, they are mistaken. You know, some of us to remove bonuses, we want to live a better world for our children. Youths need job now and here, now and today. Youths need job. People need food on their table today and now. People are not eating. They are going to get their second paycheck in a UPND government. It's unfair. It's unfair. Where is the reward? Where is the reward to our youths? To the whole country. We need to see change. Fanwell, you are next. Fanwell, you can come in, or Musa.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Madam Fene.
Go ahead.
Yes. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Though I joined the program a bit late, but at least I've managed to get one or two things, and I can make a few contributions. I think looking at how the government has fared so far, I think we have so many things that we still have to talk about as the youths, with a lot of hopes coming from the new Dawn government, of which until now we haven't seen anything yet. So I think there are a lot of recommendations we have to make for this new Dawn government to achieve their goal. That is to improve the welfare of us, the youths, that needs jobs, empowerment, for entrepreneurship and scholarships. I think I would highly recommend that the new government looks into the reforms, especially with its own institutions. How come 2021, this century, sure, the government does not have an automatic system of youths applying for government jobs? Honestly speaking, you always have to apply using physical addresses. This is what leads to corruption and nepotism, connections, cadreism. We need a very transparent way of doing things. If there are jobs in government, let it be there on social media. We know to say the majority youths, especially here in Zambia, are on social platforms. They are on WhatsApp, they are on Facebook. I don't think I've ever seen a job being advertised on Facebook, even just from the Ministry of Health or Education. So why should we go on like that? The government must come out. They need to change their system. There should be transparency. Again, on the other point, again, we are also looking at, we are coming from this past government, which had a lot of nepotism, cadreism. So we also have to look at the victims of those that suffered under the same PF government. We had youths that lost their jobs because of being UPND, because of having surnames that were not suitable for those that were in charge, that were managers and ABCD. So now, since the UPND is in government, can we look at those people? We had people with degrees, people with diplomas, certificates losing their jobs, and we had people that were being employed without even a grade 7 certificate. How can a parastatal government, government institution such as ZESCO, employ somebody without even a grade 7 certificate, and while they are firing somebody with a diploma? So there is no merit to that. So we need to look into those things. We've had a lot of complaints from the youth, especially from ZESCO, institutions like ZESCO, where people were working on contracts, and when opportunities arose for them to be employed on permanent basis, only new people came in. And it simply shows to say these were cadres that were employed. So these are the things that I think we should commend the new government to look into, so that they can help those youths that suffered under the PF. The youths that had no one to speak for them. We had a lot of people, and unfortunately, the government, the new government, is really moving at a snail's pace. I personally, I can tell you, I've been into 1 or 2 offices, and I can assure you to say, honestly speaking, there is nothing new. It's just like the same old system where if you have to wait for a response, you can even wait for as long as 2 months just to get any feedback, not even anything progressive. So I think nothing has changed so far. I think the UPND government has to be proactive to the queries and a lot of questions that people have, and a lot of matters that people want to the government to look into. They shouldn't inherit that old tendency of the PF, where people, where it becomes impossible for you to see your leaders. We need an easy way out. We need these leaders we should easily reach them. We should have access to them.
Okay.
There is no way
Yeah.
today you letter to the president. Yes. So I think it should be so easy as a Zambian citizen, as a youth. I think I should be able to write a letter to the president, and it goes through, and it goes there. I am a citizen. I'm a Zambian. He's a number one public. He's a number one civil servant. He's there to serve. So I don't see why there should be all these bureaucratic processes of even just writing a letter to the president. I can assure you there's a certain group of youths wrote a letter to the president. I don't think it has reached. Another one wrote to the vice president. I doubt. And they called I think Mr. Anton, who's the spokesperson to the president, and they said I don't think he can also assist. But we shouldn't. I think the government shouldn't work in those ways. They should be pragmatic. They should be flexible. They should move at the pace where the youths are moving. I think this is why we are yet to see any results, because they are just moving at a snail's pace. And I think through this platform that you've introduced, Madam, I think we can all gather together and speak with one voice. Today, we can speak for people, for those victims, but tomorrow it might be me, it might be somebody else. So I think let's all come together, speak with one voice, pick up where there is need to, so that we can move forward. And we shouldn't relax to say, let's give them time. No, there is no time. You can't say I'll wait tomorrow. No. So we need to start sorting these problems right now. I think
Exactly. Thank you, Fanwell. What you're saying is so true. I just want to add to what you're saying about accessibility to these to the president, accessibility to these ministers. When we were campaigning, we were with them on the ground. I heard a story yesterday from a youth who traveled to see a minister. And the minister told the youth to say, where there is COVID, we cannot have a meeting. I am like, really? When we were campaigning, there was no such a discussion to say COVID. People were campaigning in crowds. Abantu balala polling station, takwali issue subject here, COVID. But now that you are in an office where you can even easily meet 10 people in a conference room or meet outside, you are bringing up the issue of COVID. It's hypocrisy, and people feel hurt and betrayed. And we are saying no to that. We are not going to allow a government to break their promises. Is abusing the youths. You can imagine how that youth felt walking away from the office, being told they cannot see them because of COVID. Youths have risked their lives in this election. Some of them have even paid the total price. They have paid with their lives to see this change. Some of them, they have injuries.
Ma'am, for breaking news, there is changes at SEC.
Yeah, but that's what we are saying. We need this action right there and then. They should have changed the Zambia police so that they start prosecuting the owner of the 48 houses. They start prosecuting fake drugs. There are scandals everywhere, but we are slow. No.
We are so intense.
And then we are seeing recycled politicians coming. Why?
Yeah, that's so much true. That's so much true, madam.
The other thing that I want to recognize, I'm following the page even on WhatsApp. There are some comments which are coming through. So to show our viewers out there that they are really participating, we are not just neglecting them. There is this Mr. Pasco Chisala. He has written to say, a PF is deep-rooted, such that I see this government failing, because up to now, there is nothing to point at to show that the UPND is working. Mr. Chishala, this is very true. And I think all of us, we know what Mr. Chishala is talking about. We can witness. We can't really know where, or just even pointing to one particular thing or project which the UPND government has done, even just giving an overview or an insight to say, this is what we are supposed to do. Or maybe in the next 2 weeks or 3 months, this is what we are going to do. But there's nothing, totally nothing that we can say that the UPND government is taking an action upon certain things. And the other thing is, you know, people are really anticipating the budget for 2021, 2022. They are really anticipating. We haven't even heard the date when this budget is supposed to be presented. So it means they are failing, because out of that budget, we can really tell to say, I'm sure this budget, the way they presented it, this is what we expect from the government. In the previous years, we've been getting the budget. It could be on the start of, on the month end of September. And we are in October right now. Anytime soon, we are going to have our Independence Day. And by then, other professions, inclusive the recruitment for police officers, the recruitment for teachers, the recruitment for nurses, it was taking place before November. But we are seeing to say these things have been neglected, because in the past 5 years, those things were done in time. We were not reaching November, no. But the budget was presented maybe September. If it's late, it means maybe October, somewhere there. But until now, not even a date has been released to say the budget is going to be presented on such a date. We don't really know what they're waiting for. We don't really know what they're planning. We don't really know the things and the changes that they're trying to make. At least they're supposed to give us an insight, an overview of what is supposed to transpire, I mean. So this is something that we're supposed to take notice each and every time. And this government, if it continues to run their affairs like this, it means they are failing, because they've given room to PF members, or maybe to the PF government, which was back there then. We don't really know whether it's UPND ruling or the PF, which is currently ruling. And then the other participant, Vincent Kakisa, he has written to say, you know, ma'am, we youth have problems. The way our leaders are saying the country is still using the PF budget. So we fail to take action on it, because even when we say that we need some jobs, but no one answers, it is out, so we need your help, ma'am, as we youth. Responding to Mr. Vincent Kakisa, Madam Pumi, she's in California, for your own information. So even if she sends help from California to Zambia, it cannot really carry weight. So we need people like you, after realizing these problems, the things that the government is doing. Madam Pumi is here to give us the platform on how to express ourselves as youths. So this platform, we need to take it upon ourselves as a responsibility to voice out, just like the way we are talking right now in this meeting. We are supposed to take our actions by speaking out. And when people see that this platform is really working and the participation is very high, people are going to come on board, because that's when they're going to realize to say there is Nangoma. Nangoma cannot function if we are not talking here in the background. So it's up to you, Mr. Kakisa Vincent, to come to Nangoma so that you voice out what are the things that you observe in the background that you know to say the government is supposed to take an action. If the government is failing to take an action, us as Nangoma, we are going to sit down and then we air out those views. It could be on a television station. But first, we need to come together as youths. That inclusive you, Mr. Kelvin, and Mr. Vincent, and a lot of us who have commented on this. We are taking notice of your comments. Don't think to say we are just ignoring you. We are reading the comments, and from time to time, we'll keep on updating you of your beautiful information that you bring across. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eric. Let me just comment on Melvin Hachi. I don't see the same full name, but Melvin is saying that the budget is determined by the Constitution, boss, but for this year it's difficult due to elections. Exactly, that's what we are saying. The UPND should have had a plan to say, when we win, this is our budget. Why are they working on the budget now? They should have hit the ground running. It's like you are expecting one and now what if more na mayo. Do we wait at you No, you prepare. You now what if more 9 months? In that 9 months, you prepare a contingent. Once you some of you are fathers, some of you are too young. But I'm just telling you, if you are expecting a child, you prepare to receive that baby. They prepare everything. Kuzambia, we prepare a bag here so our UPND, they should have prepared to say we are campaigning and we are going to win. And this election was the indicators were there that UPND was going to win. They should have had a budget in place, and we would not be having this conversation right now. Please excuse us. Excuse us. We are not buying that. We are just saying UPND should have hit the ground running. There should have been a contingent budget in place to take over from PF and put their own people in place. You know, nobody's a kid. You know, we are not kids. About youth, a lot of you by youth, your parents have sacrificed money. But to China, whatever Malaysia, you have degrees, you're educated. You can run these government ministries and departments. So Napela, I know Musa, you have a comment. So me, I'm not buying the story of a budget. I'm really not buying it because you should have known better. You know, Mambokula later Mefiama constitution technicalities. No, people need food on the table. How are you going to explain a budget to a village in Shangombo who hasn't eaten? There's been drought there, you know? How are you going to explain it? If you have complication, no, people need to see change. That's what we are saying.
Oh, ma'am, the issue of FRA. Why do we need to explain? You see, because FRA planned for this, and people there, they are just being damaged at in Sparta, in the Eastern Province, and they were complaining. And somebody is saying we need to do what, to give them time. Once people they are being frustrated, and the same people who say no, the government has failed. Once we need to remind it.
And let me comment. This is it Lingilani Piri? He's talking about a USA, Kunoku USA is, I'm not even talking about USA. Kunoku USA, tapabo muntu ulala nensala. There is no street kid ulala pansi. Do not compare things which are irrelevant to each other. We are talking about Zambia. Do you know what has been happening in Zambia? Mwambo kula USA. USA is not the league. Ama politics, USA cannot be compared to the politics of Zambia. Okay? Let's get facts straight and let's not mix our facts. And give people excuses for not doing what they promised to do. We have no time. We really don't have time. We really do not have time. That's what we are saying. The campaign, because campaign promises were there to saying that our winner here is going to be A, B, C, and D. And now none of those things happened. Faith Musonda, is a faith. Where is Faith Musonda with her millions? The entire money found on her can run a government.
The other thing that people, those who are contradicting, those who are giving comments on Facebook, we are here as Nangoma. Our reason, our main aim why we are even here or having this conversation, having this meeting, we are giving the government checks and balances. Mr. Danny P.
I know about Danny, Babalela and Desh. It's like now, Kwatabana Mungan, that you own the budget, are kids going to understand what the budget, whatever? No. You have children in your house, you feed them. The same, you're a leader of the country. You need to feed people. Do what you have to do to make sure that your children, your youth have jobs. There is food on the table. There is no load shedding. Do IOMA details here. No, we don't need to know what you need, what you are doing to put food on the table. We are just saying there were campaign promises, and right now, today only 2 months, nothing is happening. We are still seeing PF in government, and it is wrong. We are here to provide checks and balances. You know, we are providing checks and balances. And this time we are not waiting to say, ikafika kuli 5 years otukambye okulanda. No, today manavena. Inandalanda meritari, bali bulaneli muchi wanjibire mpia, she's a speaker kwa assembly, kula ku National Assembly. The Law Association of Zambia refused to clear Nelly because Iremi and Duta Sharp. And these are, we are bringing people who have things hanging over their head and giving them positions. What about their youth? Their youth lawyers could have a clean. Why they don't pay a position? We are not going to allow it. If it happens, we'll speak about it. Because we don't want the same things happening. Everybody under Africa is a dark continent because we continue repeating these same things. And people give excuses for wrong things. No.
Can you avoid mentioning?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think with this issue, of course, you're asking yourself to say who is ruling. The reason is simple, you know. Like today, I was listening to debate actually when the Honorable Minister for Energy answered some questions. So now I was disappointed when the MP for Chambeshi, you know, asked the question to like concerning ZESCO over the ghost workers. You know,
sorry, Panwa, we are losing you. We are losing you. It has a bad connection. So, guys, we are here. We are talking about why is PF still ruling government. In the parliament, we are supposed to be hearing about stripping immunity for Balungu. Me, I've not heard anything. Have you guys heard anything about stripping Balungu of his immunity so he can be prosecuted? Have you? These are the things we are saying. Every day they were preaching, these people are thieves, are thieves, are thieves. Now, are we seeing any action being taken to put those people, to hold those people accountable? Are we seeing anything like that?
No, we are not seeing any action. There's no action.
Yeah. So they just want us to forget, like to be quiet.
Which means they are themes, which means whatever we patience, when you
me, I can just for sure, but they think it's just going to so people would they use you to get where they are. Hello, ngamambo kubepusha at your patience. Lorelen.
I think to finish up I lost the connection. I was using the computer. Now my Wi-Fi, it seems that has finished. So I'm using the one from the phone. So
yes,
to finish,
let me answer Oswald Kasonde. Yes, Oswald Ambita. I'm a retiree. I'm retirees Banandibali for they have left the money. And Nelly Muchi was in the center of that scandal. So I am bitter, yes. Now when we to have a bitter, ngawali bombele pension you bebakulira no kupera. Kuchi watemwa. I am bitter 101%. Excuse you.
yeah. So to add upon the statement that you've mentioned, for people, you know, that's the reason why we have said we need a mindset of the youth. a youth who is concerned, a youth who knows what he wants for his country, or maybe to benefit from this country, a person who is living in a country, definition of citizenship, it is a sense of belonging to a particular nation, a sense of belonging. So if a person, what we are talking about here, doesn't make sense to that particular individual, it means you don't have a sense of belonging to this Zambia, because whatever things which are taking place in our country, you take it to say it is normal for you to be going through such kind of things. But if you belong to Zambia and you see the things which are really happening in our country, you can't tolerate such kind of things, because one, it's betrayal. We voted for this particular political party, waking up 04. And then you say, you come here, you even have the courage to say you need to give the government time. What kind of time are you talking about? What kind of time are you talking about? For UPND to form government, they had plans, they had pictured what was supposed to be done when they come to the office. So the ministers are there in those departments. We expect these ministers we expect these ministers to perform. That's the reason the president is there to issue instructions to these ministries. So what we expect is for them to start taking up actions. Okay? Like, for instance, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Jack, for instance, there is this scandal of Faith Musonda. When did we hear the case of Faith Musonda? And what kind of information, if I happen to ask everybody who is attending this meeting, what kind of information do you have concerning that money which was stolen? If you calculate very well, 60-something million Zambian, we're not talking about thousands, we are talking about millions of money. And you compare the retirees who retired, they are claiming for that. Are you telling me to say if the government confiscates that money and decides to pay the retirees, can you hear retirees complaining about that? Definitely not. So what we are talking about here is we are giving the government checks and balances which are making sense. We are not talking about things like maybe Mr. Sean Tembo, who just wakes up from his bed and is fed with hack. We're not talking about that, but we are talking about real issues, because we are youth. And there are some of the people here who are leaders, some of the leaders who are attending this meeting. So they should know to say we are still watching, and we are closely watching whatever step that they're taking, whatever things that they're doing in those offices, we are taking notice. So if they're not really careful, the way we removed PF from the ruling party, we are also going to do the same if they're not getting the information which we are giving them. This is the Zambia that you are supposed to know. People are not sleeping. People are still. People out there, they are seeing. And this is the young generation. And many of these people that you see who are in the background, a lot of them, they're educated. They have got degrees, they've got diplomas, they're very. So when they want to take an action, or maybe when they want to speak, they speak coming from their heart, because it's really paining. You can imagine being at school for more than maybe 4 years. You have got a degree. You come back, you live in society for 8 years, you're not employed. They demand for experience from you. How could you feel? And those things are really happening. So if you know to say you are a Zambian and you're going through such kind of things, mister, you need to wake up. This is time for you to wake up. If you are waking, you're in government, then you are safe. But look at your relative. When you die today, who is going to take up that responsibility of talking on the behalf of your children? Thank you very much, Mami. Hello?
Hello. Hi, guys. I'm just reading the comments. I'm just reading the comments here. Bartholomew says, I'm disappointed with them because when in opposition, they were condemning construction of roads. But I hear that that will be priority in their agenda. with money on credit. I'm just going to read some comments. And James says, just wait, Mama, Bali is Bali. Okay. And David, how are you? How are you, my sister? I'm fine, my brother. How are you? Pascal, this waiting is too much. Where you watch people stealing mukula, so even the police are waiting for the budget. Imagine, do we need a budget to arrest criminals? No. We do not need a budget to arrest criminals. What budget? Police is already there. The problem is, if I have any police, never PF Kada, and that's why we are saying, thank you, never PF Kada, and hire professional people so they can do the job and arrest criminals. Do you need a budget to arrest criminals when we already have the Zambia police force in place? ACC is just for investigation. But some of these people, there is hardcore evidence. We don't even need an investigation because the evidence is there. Do we need a budget for that? No. So we are saying, Zambian youth, we are awake. Zambian youth, they are awake. So nangumuleba pela ma stories abale milore shafi. Melvin has a few points. Things done so far, restoring of rule of law, yes, but we can't eat rule of law. And it's normal. Every civilized society, there must be rule of law. Zambia is a democracy. 2, Kadarism has ended. Yes, it had to end because it's normal. Debt restructuring and rescheduling is done, of course. But for me, I can just say that immediately by HH1, he took a plane and he went to Kuyu SA. But why haven't he gone to the Copper Belt? Me, I'm asking the planning committee, why can't my HH take a road trip and thank the voters? We need to see him on the ground. So this is, for me, I'm just thinking, I'm like, okay, but HH right away, he went on an international trip, but he can't go in the backyard to congratulate the voters. So this is a problem, guys. After these people went into office, they cannot even come out and say thank you, make a rally and meet the voters. Why is this difficult? Why? Yeah, we are talking of freedom of speech, which is normal. Juba, Musa, you can go ahead. Musa, your hand is up.
Yes, ma'am, I'm around. I just want to go back to the point which I heard one of our members say that they were saying that they need 2 years experience when giving a job. But looking at it, when voting, they never said you need 2 years experience to be voted.
Exactly.
Even when an MP comes to campaign, he never said that you need 2 years experience in voting. So I don't know. Even when he's standing on the queue to vote, nobody said that there's coronavirus, so don't vote for me. No one said that. But why today, when honey and milk is flowing, now you are saying that there is COVID, you need 10 years experience? If there is any opportunity, when are we going to have that experience? We'll never have an experience. So I think this tolerance of saying experience, when you promise to give people a job, you don't have to ask for their experience, because your aim is not for experience, but to improve the lives of the citizens. To me, I'm so very highly disappointed in the time that I wasted campaigning for some people who are just marching so that they can get employed and start feeding their own families. Because looking at this, we are not part and parcel of the wealth of this government. We are just people that are being used as a ladder, as a stepping stone to climb on top so that they can be where they are. They just used us and dumped us. There's nothing else. There's no change. Look at the people. Look at how we are living. People are complaining, and no one is telling the president.
Are you sure? Is the president have those OPs to go around investigating, seeing how the feedback from the people? Because we are the people on the ground. Nobody's on the ground to inform the president what's happening. We had hope in this government that when it comes into power, things will change. And people are saying, no, give them time. Which time are we going to give them? We already given them time to vote for them. That was the time we were giving them. When we are voting, we are giving them time. And now it's time now for them to wait. And looking at the government, the way they are saying that they are still members from PF that are still working in the government. I'm sure all of us, we've had computers. When you are formatting, having a new software in your computer, if you want to get rid of viruses, you have to format the computer. Meaning formatting, you have to install new applications on your computer. That's when it's now starting with a new view and platform of it all. If you say, no, since there is virus, let me just delete some folders which has got viruses, I'm sure there is a virus that is somewhere in a folder which you don't know. So you have to format the computer and put a new software. We formatted the PF and put a new software, UPND. But we surprised that it didn't format the whole software. We only deleted some folders of cadres, folders of police in the roadblocks, folders of this, but there are still some folders that are still having viruses, that are still having PF members. So I'm sure on this platform, we should voice out and tell our president to take full control of this, because this will make this government to only run for 5 years and we'll have a new president again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Musa. I just want to say that those who are preaching patience, they are eating, you know. Go on, and that, yo, just wait. They have food on their table. They do not care about the youths who have been unemployed for 10 years, who are still living with their parents at 30 years. People have been waiting 23 years, 10 years for this change to come. So now that the change has come, we are preaching patience again. No, it's hypocrisy. No, we say no to that. We are reading, I see there is a lot of comments here, so I'll try to read the comments later. Our time is up and I will respond, but we are going to be here every day, maybe very so often. Just make sure you like the page and share the page so that when we come live, you get an alert and you can join us. And like Eric said, we want people to join Nangoma Foundation. We are, we are a human rights organization and we are going to speak the truth. If you listen to Mama Chika Monica, she's my big sister. I envy her. I wish we had more people like her in Zambia. She's a woman, but she's a woman of truth. She speaks the truth. And we cannot afford to be patient. We don't have all the time in the world. We do not. We have to change Zambia. We voted for change, and we need to see that change. So follow, like, and share this page so that you get alerts. We'll be going live. We have to monitor this situation closely. We have ears to the ground. We'll be quiet until campaign period decades 5 years. They are mistaken. This is a different ball game. Zambia is a different place. You know, the abuse which PF did to Zambians has changed Zambians forever. And Zambians will not sleep. Zambians have woken up. And the 2.8 sent a loud message, loud and clear. So to end, guys, we are closing. If you have your last comments, Eric, Fanuel, Juva, you can just share your last comments and then we can call it a night.
Thank you very much, ma'am. My last comment is that for your reminder for the UPND, 2.8, every mistake that you make, it will disappoint someone, they will deduct from 2.8. So on whatever you're doing, please try to consider that number that you had so that you should not disappoint anyone, so that the number should be maintained and you add more members. Because if you want to disappoint us, the number will still be reducing. So if you want the number to increase, please try to do what we want. One, bring our properties back to our country, because this the former government, they had a lot of opportunity to steal because of the weakness of what SEC, DEC, and what and FYC. So we need those people who stolen our properties to bring back, as you promised. This is what I need to emphasize.
In
Thank you,
addition to
Juba.
that, in addition to what Mr. Juba said, my information that the last things that I want to address is that the leadership of the UPND, starting from the president himself, the president, the cabinet ministers, and all the ministers, inclusive the permanent secretaries, they should know that they are not the best candidates to govern the affairs of Zambia. They are not the ones that are the best people, that we can't have other leaders instead of them. So this is a warning that I'm giving them as a youth, because I believe I'm a voice for a lot of youth out there. And I'm speaking on the behalf of those who are watching and also those who are going to watch later, that they should take notice of what we are telling them. If they just pay attention and a blind ear for them to just pretend as if they are deaf, consequences will follow them. 5 years is not a long period of time, or maybe for us to petition these, to petition them. It's not something that is so difficult. The world is watching. The people of Zambia are watching. So for them to be considering to say, let us employ people with qualifications, or maybe let us do things with qualifications or experience, that is just a sheer waste of time. Let the qualifications speak for people. Let them see the abilities of people in order for them to be given opportunities, for them to prove to the country of Zambia to say they can also do something better than these other people. I think that is something that I'm sending out there. This is something that I'm sending to the leadership of the UPND. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good night to all the viewers, and good night to all the listeners who are listening this time around. Thank you very much.
I think I would also like to add my last voice, if I may.
You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. I think my appeal goes to my fellow youths out there. I think we should come to a realization to say our rights doesn't end the moment we vote and we leave it up to the government. We should realize and know to say that's when our rights even begin. So even as we have voted, we've exercised our rights to vote and we've changed the government. Now we have to take it upon ourselves to see that we achieve and we get the change that we voted for. So calling upon all the youths to join the group, we can come together, we speak with one voice so that we see the changes that we want to see, and we see that the government works according to how we want to see the government work. We no longer want people to be employed through connections, people to be cadres for them to be employed. No. So by doing that, by avoiding to do that, let's work together. Let's come together. We don't have to sit and wait for the government to say, let's give them time. Time for what? Time for correction is now. We don't have to wait, because even when you live in a dead place, you say, I'll clean tomorrow. By tomorrow, the other day, it looks normal. And you live like that. So I think the right time to do the right thing is now. We don't have to wait for tomorrow. So even as youths, we shouldn't relax to say, no, let's wait and give them time. No, if the ministers have to work, let them start working now. Us as the youths, you should even know which ministry is this? Where is it located? Who is there? We should be able to approach these ministers. I think That's my last appeal to the youths. Let's not wait. Let's not wait for the government. If we wait, we go back into default mode, just like we let the PF government get away with everything because we were just watching. So let's not watch even this government. Let's demand what is rightfully ours. Let's see the change that we want. Let's advocate for the right things that we want to see in this government. Let's go for reforms. Let's go for reforms. Like how area said, the government has to go digital. We don't have to be applying, with a bulk of documents when things have changed. We need to advocate for that. I think that's my last appeal. Thank you so much, Ho, and hope everyone has a good night.
Thank you so much, Fanuel. It's what you have said is really, really important. Like there is no time to wait. Just to summarize the important points that Fanuel brought up, time is now. If we say let's wait, we'll get used in the mess. We have come from 10 years of a mess, and now we are carrying over the same mess into a new government, and we are preaching patience. No, we say no to that. And then Fanuel also mentioned that we are living in a global world. Technology has taken over the world. Zambian government, I don't know why everything is still paper-based. Let us campaign. We need our government systems, everything to go digital. Applications, everything that will cut out corruption.
Exactly.
So we have to advocate for our government systems to go digital, phase out any paper, any paper transactions must be phased out. So I think that's very important. And I think that's it. Anybody else has a comment? Otherwise, guys, you're welcome. These are Nangoma youths. They operate under Nangoma Foundation, Zambia. We are a human rights organization, and we will speak the truth. We are here to see what's happening in the new dawn. We are going to provide checks and balances, so we want you to join us. We are reading your comments, be a force, join the group. There is a certification that you need to get done before you become an Angoma youth, so you can know the human rights and you can speak from a perspective of a human rights activist. Justice, freedom, equality for all. We are not talking about favoritism. We are not talking about, research your facts. We are looking at just justice for all. If it smells like a fish, it's a fish. If it's a spade, you can't say Lucas or nitpick. If it's a spade, it's a spade. As simple as all that. And the faster we Zambians start embracing the idea of taking things the way they are, the better we'll become as a society. And I think we are on the right step, because this is what happened for us to have the change. We looked at facts, and as we have this new government, let's look at them with facts, No tapari umwana, pero tapari ichigayo. We shall look at the facts, and nobody's going to lie to anybody, and nobody will buy those lies, because we are living in a digital time. Information travels far, near, in real time. I'm here in California, but I know more stuff than some of you guys over there in the local because of technology. So days of these politicians lying to us are over. They just must have their acts together and stick to their campaign promises. Otherwise, things will not be good. So I end here, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Not tomorrow, maybe Monday or Tuesday. Follow the page, like the page, so that you get updates when we go live. Thank you, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Share your comments below. If you want to go join Nangoma Youth, send me your number. I'll send you the instructions, what you need to do. Thank you for watching so much, and God bless you. See you next week.